Particularly in downtown areas. Retail sometimes is difficult. We have done a lot of projects with retail on first floor, but this use was a perfect match, and that of course is the Senior Citizen Center. So I welcome Tom Manley and thank him and ask him to make some remarks.
All we want to say is thanks. Bob Fagan. Bob Fagan was very instrumental for us. The City Council, the Board of Supervisors, the Clay County Foundation worked very much with us along this whole project. Working with community housing and Chris and her staff was amazing. And then we've got Andrew. Andrew, wonderful guy. He was the lead guy and the contractors, and you snap your fingers and he jumps.
The project is very amazing in terms of just the kind of the can-do attitude of all the partners at the table. And you know, not too many years ago, we were all thinking, we have a new middle school, now what's going to happen to the old middle school in Spencer? And because of that, it really became a conversation about, well, what makes sense? And it seemed that from the beginning, nobody had any clear picture. And so the school board at one time put out a request for proposals for people to say, well, what are the ideas out there? We got one proposal. And I want to make real clear how important the CHI connection with the Friends of the Auditorium. That group, because they had that conversation and put a proposal in front of the school board, set something in motion that would have never happened. You know, as you drive around Iowa and you have schools consolidating and you have things that are changing, and change is just part of all of our lives, you'll see lots of buildings that are sitting empty. I grew up in a community that has now an empty school building, and not more than a few months ago I was driving by it, and of course there's a window knocked out, and there's a big piece of plywood put on another window, and you see kind of a tree starting to grow up into the building, and so those become real eyesores for those communities. And that was something that I think we were all passionate about here, to make sure that didn't happen to the Spencer.
I'm not going to talk anywhere near as long as Mary Jean. I had, up until I think 2 days ago, planned on being in Kansas City for a long scheduled meeting, and now I'm having second thoughts about canceling intending that to come here instead. But anyway, thanks Mary Jean. And thanks to all of you for coming. When we started looking at this project with the Friends, you know, we were talking, and we all knew that this building had a long connection with Spencer, and we hope, you know, what what we've accomplished with the rehabilitation here is, provides a continuity of that connection for many years to come. And Greg, while the school may have become functionally increasingly obsolete as a school building over the years, we found a great alternative use for the building, and feel that this building belongs, in the community and in the neighborhood.
Among the rafters. It was very cold, and we launched this $5 million project. And its achievement, I see somebody looking very surprised. This is a $5 million project, and the achievement of this project really propels Spencer into a group of visionary leaders that recognize that preserving old buildings and adapting them to new uses is a very high school here. Joe Graff, his first teaching job was here as a math teacher. Any administrators that were here at the middle school? You might notice this morning as you're taking a tour that they have framed all kinds of wonderful things to preserve the past of this school as a high school, and everything from announcements. I think there's a commencement announcement here to awards that a typing teacher won, all kinds of paraphernalia that they found to preserve the history of education in this building.